Module Overview. In the two-dimensional space of a canvas or paper, the illusion of depth, the feeling of three-dimensional space, is a powerful visual tool. This module dives deep into how artists across ages have crafted immersive compositions using perspective, overlapping atmospheric techniques, scale, and spatial arrangement. However, depth alone is not enough. How the viewer moves through the composition matters just as much. This module integrates the dual concepts of depth and visual journey to give you mastery over both space creation and narrative flow. You will learn how to guide the viewer not just into the artwork, but through it layer by layer, moment by moment, thus enhancing storytelling, dynamism, and emotional impact. Learning outcomes. By the end of this module, you will understand and apply the key visual strategies for creating depth, distinguish between linear, atmospheric, and intuitive depth techniques, construct multi-layered compositions with foreground, middle ground, and background, utilize overlap, scale, clarity, and color shift to imply spatial relationships, design visual journeys that lead the eye with intentional rhythm and hierarchy, evaluate and revise compositions for better depth and narrative flow. Section 1. The concept of depth in art. Depth transforms flat surfaces into spatial experiences. It gives compositions realism, mystery, and scale, and allows artists to emphasize what's close, what's distant, and how elements interact in space. There are three primary dimensions of depth in visual art: linear perspective, the most mathematical and accurate; atmospheric aerial perspective, based on light, color, and clarity; intuitive perspective, emotional/spiritual representations of depth. Section 2. Linear perspective for depth. Linear perspective involves the use of vanishing points and receding lines to create depth. One-point perspective. All lines converge at a single vanishing point, often used in roads, hallways, or architectural interiors. Two-point perspective. Two vanishing points on the horizon line, great for buildings and corner views. Three-point perspective adds vertical vanishing point, used for dramatic height/depth angles, e.g., skyscrapers. Horizon line represents the viewer's eye level. Objects above it angle downward, below it they angle upward. Section 3. Atmospheric perspective. Used by masters like Leonardo da Vinci, atmospheric depth uses visual cues from nature. Distant objects appear bluer or grayer, less saturated. Distant forms are less detailed. Foreground is sharp, dark, and warm in color. This technique creates mood, distance, and naturalism. Section 4. Intuitive and spatial layering. Many cultures, especially in Eastern art, use depth intuitively based on importance rather than physical space. Modern compositions can also use intuitive layering by overlapping elements with symbolic importance, using color and contrast more than vanishing points. Layering involves dividing space into foreground, closest elements, large, detailed, high contrast; middle ground, connective space, bridges, visual flow; background, distant environment or setting, soft, muted, minimal detail. Section 5. Visual journey, leading the eye. Once depth is established, the artist's next job is to lead the eye through the artwork, like a visual storyteller. This journey is not random, it's carefully constructed. Key visual journey techniques. Leading lines. Direct the eye across layers, e.g., rivers, roads, architecture. Contrast gradients. Eye moves from high contrast to low contrast zones. Repetition and rhythm. Patterns or echoes that guide attention smoothly. Anchors and transitions. Focal points act as anchors. Transitions help the eye jump to next focal areas. Z-path and S-path flow. Common visual pathways used in both fine art and commercial design. Section 6. Case studies in depth and journey. A. The School of Athens by Raphael Depth via architectural perspective. Multiple vanishing points. Journey through crowd interactions, gestures, and receding arches. Foreground, Plato and Aristotle. Middle ground, other thinkers. Background, vaulted ceiling. B. Wanderer above the sea of fog by Caspar David Friedrich. Foreground figure with clear detail. Middle ground, fog banks. Background, misty cliffs fading into sky. Journey implied by the back-facing subject and visual path over the rocks. Section 7. Common depth and journey mistakes. Flat compositions with no contrast between planes. Disconnected visual layers that lack overlap. No focal transitions. making viewer feel lost. Crowded foregrounds blocking eye flow. Perspective errors, breaking realism. Section 8. Practical exercises. Create 3 thumbnails of the same scene, one flat, one with depth, one with visual journey. Redraw a composition in 1-point and 2-point perspectives. Deconstruct a Renaissance painting into foreground, middle ground, background. Use colored paper cutouts to model spatial layering and abstract compositions. Design a comic page with depth and eye path flow across panels. Recommended tools and texts. Perspective Made Easy by Ernest Norling. The Art of Depth in Art by Leonard M. Shapiro. Ruler, T-Square. Digital depth mapping tools, e.g., Procreate Perspective Grid.